Today I'm going to sit down with Victoria Sinis, a speaker who pulls back the curtain on the reality of OnlyFans, the reality of what is actually happening behind the screen, the one person who used to help build it, and then she walked away.
Not many people actually know exactly what OnlyFans is. OnlyFans blew up as this thing called a not safe for work platform. So what that means is a porn platform. And so now we see that OnlyFans is one of the biggest porn platforms that we have that exist in our culture.
You worked with a OnlyFans agency, is that right?
My role was to make girls go as viral as possible, as quickly as possible. So what are you doing? You're scouring the internet, looking for girls that you can entice to be able to sign them to do porn. We correlated that the younger the girl looks, the more money she makes. So again, people have to understand that you're not sitting there writing in like an Instagram bio, come join OnlyFans and do porn and we'll take a cut. You're writing, do you want to live a luxurious lifestyle? Do you want to be a part of the elite? Cars, yachts, mansions. And so it's you're posting 7 days a week. You cannot skip days. You're not allowed to skip days. You have to have the perfect lighting, show more skin. We're mass manipulating algorithms and telling these girls that they have very strict requirements in order to do well.
Are there links between OnlyFans agencies and traditional sex industry workers and also trafficking?
I do a lot of work. As you said, I come here and I tour and I speak in activism world. And even people in activism world are like, oh, I thought like OnlyFans was like the better option. Like that's what we should tell girls to do. But if you think about it, just even say the recruitment element, right? What is the difference between if there was a bunch of grown women standing on a street corner going up to girls that looked young and trying to convince them to come do pornography? I mean, like, hey, we have a studio down the road, come do porn with us. But we're doing it digitally, right? Because I already explained what we do recruitment. There's no difference between us messaging girls doing that and us standing on a street corner going up to girls. It's the exact same thing. So a lot of people have this perception, right, that OnlyFans industry is here and the sex industry is here and they're separate. But if you think about it, it's literally the exact same thing. We've digitized it now. So the exploiters and the pimps are now called OnlyFans agencies. And the girls who you would say are traditional victims of sexual exploitation are now called OnlyFans content creators. And so it's just everything that has gone from being physical is now digital. And that's why it makes it more messy, because people, for some weird reason, if it's behind a computer screen, it desensitizes you.
So you talked about something called shattering the illusion. So one, what is the illusion? And two, what would you maybe say to women who are saying that them doing this is their liberty? It's empowering.
I think that the illusion is, but kind of exactly what you said. So kind of to mirror it of, well, I think OnlyFans is like this empowering thing. I think it's easy money. I can just jump on, again, make a bunch of money selling my feet potentially. It's not that deep. And I'm protected. My content's not going to get leaked. I have autonomy. And I feel a sense of control because the subscribers are paying me. That's a really common one. And so that's what I hope that we're understanding and unpacking and shattering those illusions of all those different things.
What would you say to women who are saying that this is liberating or empowering?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because there's so many ways that you can look at that, like firsthand experience. One of the girls at the agency when I was working there was like, I hate doing this. I don't want to do this anymore. I have the worst anxiety. This makes me feel sick. So I sat down with her and I was like, okay, babe, let's get you involved in the business side of things. So I sat down and was like, what are you good at? What do you like doing? And she looks at me and she goes, I'm good at being hot. And I was like, no, babe, come on, like, tell me, what are you good at? She goes, no, Vic, this is all I can do. I'm not good at anything else. And that was the conversation. And as far as I'm aware, she's still doing OnlyFans. So how on earth is that liberating? And the biggest barrier for exit for any girl that is in OnlyFans that I have come into contact with is she goes, well, what else am I going to do? I'm not good at anything else. This is the only thing I can do. Even that in itself, I don't understand how we can sit there and say that that's liberating and that's positive and that's something we should encourage. When what we're doing is we're telling women that go do this, but then you're going to be stuck in this trap of thinking the only way I can contribute in this world is to get naked online. And I just don't see how we can correlate that with being empowering.
What then are the kind of the emotional and psychological tolls that are happening to these women?
At the agency, I saw like everything, Robbi. Like you kind of asked about like even like sex trafficking and human trafficking and all of those different things. Well, it's kind of like the weird thing is OnlyFans is like the gateway drug. But it's also the opposite because if you're an escort, if you're doing so, let me give some context to that. So you're doing OnlyFans, hypothetically.
Okay.
Well, you've already opened the door now. So why wouldn't I go be a stripper? Why wouldn't I go be an escort? Why wouldn't I do topless waitressing?
So it kills the morale.
Yeah. And so then what does that do? Well, you've crossed the line. Even to take it back to the simplicity of the levels, you've crossed the line now. You've gone from being a level 1, now you're doing level 5. Well, I might as well. And so that chips away at the girl's essence. So I have a friend who goes to the brothels back home in Sydney, and she goes, you have no idea how many women end up in the low-end brothels in Sydney that all have come from OnlyFans. Because it's just shattered their confidence. They thought the illusion of I'm going to jump on, I'm going to have this magnificent life. They've done all this crazy stuff. They made no money. And now they're like, wow, my only option is to go work in the brothels. And that's really common. But then you've got the other element of women that are sex workers that are jumping on to OnlyFans. So again, thinking they're going to make all this money, and they're really not. And so again, it's just shattering their confidence, their capacity. Well, I believed this lie, and then I'm coming on and I'm not making any money. So then, of course, you have the traditional things, severe mental health, severe anxieties, depressions. I saw like some girls would like lock themselves in their rooms for like days on end. But you see them on Instagram and they're posting all these pictures like they had the most fantastic life ever, but they're having a mental breakdown to us behind the scenes. So drug abuse, alcohol abuse. A lot of these girls come from really like low economic families, broken families, all the traditional things that you see when it comes to like traditional women at risk in like mainstream sexual exploitation. It's the exact same in OnlyFans.
What's the percentage of women that actually end up making a lot of money and then kind of like having this career that blows up and then transitioning into a healthy, different lifestyle versus the women who aren't making much money and end up essentially just disappearing?
So statistically, there was a study that came out, like a brand new 2025 one, that said that there was 3.5 million content creators on OnlyFans, and only 300 of those 3.5 million make more than $1 million a year.
Wow.
So even, I think you mentioned it, but the statistics is like $180 a month is the average wage. So again, like the barrier of entry for success is so high, and it's such a small amount of people that there's so many people are falling for this. And then think about it. Imagine, you're jumping on and you're talking about people that kind of like disappear. Imagine how many of millions of women are jumping on, falling for the lie, making $180 a month, posting full-on pornographic content on this platform. Once it's on the internet, you cannot get it down. Like, you can delete it off OnlyFans, but the amount of leaked content that comes is massive. And then you have to try find a normal job again.
Yeah.
Like, that's not easy. And that's what we're seeing.
You had this crazy experience. Like, at the time, was it feeling wrong to you? What was this moment where you're like, I don't want to do this anymore? And now not only are you didn't just walk away, but now you're like traveling around, you're shedding light on this, you're talking about it, and you're now doing so much work, which we'll talk about as well, to help rehabilitate and to speak life into people who have decided to walk away. So what was the moment that everything shifted for you and you're like, this is it, this is enough?
Yeah, so what happened for me is, for the first 6 months, I'm like building out this marketing division, right? And like, startups, so like every like unofficial capacity, not a paid capacity, like all the different things, like brand new business, but this is what we're building. So I'm seeing all of the front end stuff. And so what we had realized over those 6 months is that if I'm doing all the marketing and the OnlyFans account manager is doing all the account managing, and we're talking to subscribers, but we're not communicating behind the scenes. So, well, the subscribers started to pick up on holes in our story. So then they would be like, wait a minute, I'm talking to you on Instagram and then I'm coming to OnlyFans and continuing the conversation and you don't know what I'm saying. And so we went, oh, we have to change the company structure behind the scenes. So that's when we went, okay, instead of doing all of the marketing, we'll cut the girls in half and then we'll do the full life cycle. So then you do less girls and you're doing marketing and account management.
Wow.
And so that's when I actually jumped on the back end. And so that's when I started to actually see what OnlyFans was and what we were doing. And so personally, I've never even been exposed to pornography. Like, I'm 25 at the time, never seen porn, like really. And it's girls that I've built relationships with now.
In real life, like you're communicating with them every day.
Yeah, like I've met them, I know them, I've hung out with them. And so now I'm seeing their acts and I'm going, wait a minute, this is what we're telling them to do. These are the dreams we're telling them to dream. And I'm like, but that girl's really smart. That girl's really funny. Like I think of these girls, I see their faces when I say these things still. Like, I think of one girl, I'm like, you have the most excellent family values that I've ever met in a human before. And this is what we're telling you to do. And so the only way I can explain it is I just malfunctioned. I'm like crying every single day. I can't open up my laptop. I can't do my work. And so I started to ask people like at the agency, like, what do you think about what we're doing? And people told me crazy answers. Like, it's like a safe injecting heroin room. People need a safe place to do drugs. We give people a safe place to do porn. And like, I just wasn't satisfied with the answers. And so I'd already kind of said as well how we're throwing these crazy parties, right? And we don't have like normal jobs. We can do whatever we want whenever we want. So drugs are out of control, alcohol's out of control. And I was just like, okay, I can't numb out anymore. Like, I'm staying awake for like 3-4 days at a time on cocaine. And I'm like, wow, I can't do this. I don't feel good. Nothing's making me feel better. I can't numb out anymore. And I'm like, okay, something has to change because this doesn't make me feel good. And so that's when I went, okay, well, maybe I'll do like an extreme, like a really extravagant act of good. And maybe that will like calm me, right? And so if I go do something that's really extreme, it'll offset all the bad and then that'll make me feel better. So I was like, okay, well, what's like an extreme enough act of good? And I was like, I'll go overseas and help refugees. Like, that seems like extreme enough. Oh, Robbi, it was like in my selfishness because I'm like, I'll go to Greece and I'll have like a holiday and like I'll help refugees.
It's 2 for 1.
Yeah, exactly. I've worked really hard. No. But I was like, okay, that's what I'll do. And so I was actually building a medicinal cannabis company at the time as well. And that was my dream business because that's my educational background in like alternative medicine. And so I was like, okay, sick. I'll go overseas, I'll help a bunch of refugees. And by the time I come back, the cannabis company will be up and running. And then I don't have to work at the agency anymore. Genius. And then I've like calmed myself into like, I don't know, good vibes. And so I was like, okay, well, like, how do I help refugees? Like, what do I do? So I had this random memory. And I was like, oh, I went to this church when I was like a little kid. And we probably stopped going when I was like 8 or 9 years old. And I was like, but it's sick. I'll Google the church and I think that they have like a program. So I Google the church and I'd fill in this application for like outreach. And this is where it gets really wild. But I found out months later that that application to the outreach department never went to the outreach department. But actually an email went to the young adults pastor and it said, Victoria wants to reach out to the church. Here's her number, call her. And it had my phone number.
Doesn't make any sense in the physical at all.
It's
Well,
so stinking cool.
so what happens? So he gets the email and he calls you?
Yeah. So
Okay.
I get a call from this young adults pastor and she invites me to come down to the church on a Thursday. She's like, hey, I heard you want to come to the church. Like, let's meet up this Thursday.
Okay.
So I think it's like a vetting call, right?
Okay.
And so I'm like, okay, maybe this is just what Christians do. And like, this is like the interview to like help refugees. I don't know.
Okay.
And so Robbi, like, I remember like rocking up to the church and like sitting in my car at the front and being like, I can't go in there. Like, I'm such a bad person. Like, I'll burst into flames. I cannot walk into that church. And I just remember this voice just like whispered and goes, there's someone in there and they're waiting for you. Just go in. And so I walk into this church and like I word, and like, you know me, like, so imagine me for like hours word vomiting to this sweet young adults pastor. Like, I sell porn. Everyone tells me that it's good, but like, I think it's bad. I kind of sell weed too. And like, I don't really know what to do. Like, help me. Like, I don't know. Like, what do I do? Yeah.
So you spoke for hours.
Mhm.
And what was the outcome of the conversation?
She was so beautiful. She didn't do what I thought Christians would do. She didn't ridicule me. She didn't go, you're going to burn in hell.
She didn't hit you with a Bible?
No. Thank goodness. She didn't go, you're really intense. She just goes, I really want to invite you to church this Sunday. She goes, I have a guest speaker. Well, sorry, there's a guest speaker who's coming to the church, and I think you'll really resonate with them. So I rock up to church on the Sunday, and the guest speaker in church is talking about OnlyFans.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's talking about this over-sexualized culture. And she goes around the country in Australia. She's been in activism for 40 years now. And she sees firsthand what is happening to our young people in this over-pornified, over-sexualized culture. And I remember she just said this line. And she goes, Christians are supposed to be the salt and the light of the earth. And they have failed. And we are destroying the next generation. And that was the moment. And it just clicked in my heart. And I went, I'm not crazy. What we are doing is wrong. This is bad. And so I literally, like, I'm like in the balcony, like at the back. And like, I ran down to her and I went up to her And I said, hi, my name's Victoria. I work for an OnlyFans agency and I hate myself. And she goes, do you want to have lunch with me? And this beautiful woman had lunch with me and sat with me for hours and answered all my questions. Ethical porn, like empowering, liberating, girl power, like all the things, right, that we think. And she just gave me the truth. And so, yeah, that was on the Sunday. And then by the Friday, I quit the agency and I walked away from everything in my life. And basically from that day, every single day since then, we've been talking about this and talking about this story.
One radical encounter with Jesus.
Yeah.
One Christian woman who spoke truth and took the time to sit with you. And it's led to, I mean, one of the most dramatic career changes that I've ever seen. Like for you guys watching this, she travels around, she speaks, like she said, she does activism, she's on podcasts, and you just shed such a light on these topics. What was that like for you? Like, one, like you not only had revelation about changing careers and like what you were doing, but like two, like you encountered Jesus. Like what was that like?
Like the easiest way I can explain it is it's like I saw the world in color for the first time. Like, have you ever heard of Plato's allegory?
No.
Oh, so this is the best way to explain it.
I've heard of Plato.
So Plato, Plato.
He said Plato. I'm like, I can't even use the accent as an excuse to go.
You should understand my English.
Especially an accent. What are you saying?
So he was like a Greek or something like philosopher.
He was a philosopher. Yeah, I've heard of Plato.
I mean, Plato. Sorry, I'll take responsibility for that.
Plato's allegory. So what is that?
It's this allegory about all these people that are in a cave and they're chained and they're bound in their hands and feet. And the only thing that they're able to see is there's projections on this cave wall. And they've grown up their entire lives in this cave with these chains on them. It says that in the allegory, what would happen if someone had those chains taken off and they were able to go out of that cave and see the entire world, see color, see trees, see flowers, see butterflies, smell fresh air. How do they come back down into that cave and tell people that just above the surface is a universe and a world that they cannot possibly think or imagine? And that's just what it feels like. It feels like I was this person that was just in chains, seeing this reality that was projected on a wall for me. And instantaneously, I had those chains taken off and I got to go up and see that, oh my gosh, there is a whole world that we have no idea exists. And it's literally just above the surface. And I think that allegory is like one of the easiest ways to explain what it felt like encountering Jesus.
Yeah. Have you faced backlash, one, like from the Christian community, but two, from the OnlyFans industry for being so vocal and kind of sharing so much light on this topic?
I think with Christians, I don't know if this is like a bad thing to say, but it's only if you let it get to you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if people want to judge me for the testimony, I've had people say that this isn't appropriate to share in church and like and I'm like, bro, like... No, it is. So like I think having a really firm identity and really strong, healthy convictions means that you can brush those things off quite easily. And then from a OnlyFans perspective, not OnlyFans itself, no, but the OnlyFans agency did try to sue me. And so we had like to go through legal things with that and then it all got sorted. Yeah.
So what's your mission now? What's your heart? You understand the problem. You said we have to understand the problem to solve the problem. What is your heart behind what you're doing?
I think for me, there's like two elements to this. I think that the more we can be educated on things, the more it gives people the capacity to make a well-rounded decision.
Yeah.
And so I go and like I speak to young people, I speak in schools, like, and my biggest heart is getting young people to understand that I want you to have the tools to be able to, and like I have young people mirror this language back to me. It's so cool. On how are you being softly influenced on social media? How can you critically analyze that you are? And then how can you be countercultural? And so I have young girls be like, oh my gosh, I thought I had to act this way. I thought I'm so influenced by sex worker TikTok and girls that are OnlyFans like models on TikTok. But now I can understand that I'm being softly influenced and I don't want to do that because that doesn't make me feel good. And so that's really important. I think also educating parents is insanely important because the average age of pornography exposure is 8 to 9 years old in America and in Australia. And so what is happening to our young children? And the thing is, it's younger and younger. And so we need to be able to know as parents how to navigate this. We can't have parents that are passive in this culture anymore and giving children phones with no idea of what is happening and what they're having access to.
Yeah.
And for OnlyFans, there's no like barrier for entry to be a subscriber. So you can literally have 12, 13, 14 younger, like little boys signing up to OnlyFans. It's not that hard to steal your parents' credit card. And so that's really important for parents to know. So I think they're the two main heart postures. And then as well, just getting people to understand the incomprehensible freedom that you have in Jesus. I want everyone to understand the freedom that I have, but that doesn't come from me. That comes from what God did on the cross. And when you can access that freedom and walk in that, oh my gosh, your life, again, there's no words. It's like seeing color for the first time. It's the most indescribable, incomprehensible feeling. And my heart is, I believe everyone deserves that.
Well, thank you for sharing your testimony. It's beautiful. If you could say something for people who are thinking about getting onto the platform or signing with an agency, what would you say to them?
So for any girl that is thinking about jumping onto OnlyFans, this is what I always encourage you to do. I want you to set your phone on a timer for 5 minutes, and I want you to put it on Do Not Disturb. And I want you to sit there and I want you to ask yourself why. Why do I want to go on OnlyFans? Why do I feel this way? And the beautiful thing is when you do this thing called the why method, if you're brutally honest with yourself, you will get to the root cause of why you're doing the things that you're doing. And the thing is, when you can understand the root of why you're doing something, it loses its power over you. And so for anyone who is tempted, sit there for 5 minutes and ask yourself why, and be recklessly vulnerable with yourself. And I have full faith that you're going to understand why you're wanting to do this. And then that's going to give you freedom to be able to not want to do that anymore.
My next question would be for someone who is on the platform that maybe feels trapped, or they're at a place where like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. What would you say to that person right now?
I think as well, that's a really fantastic one. And a lot of girls, I understand that you feel like you have no other options. But again, just to play into that theme of let's shatter that illusion. You have so many options. There is always a way out. And there is always something that is better on the horizon for you. OnlyFans is not the thing that is going to give you legacy, money, safety, stability, and make you feel seen and known and loved in this world. It is literally the thing that is destroying you. And there's so many other options that are out there. I have that many friends that have left and they have that many options. And so I just want you to know that you think that this is the only thing you can do and the only option you have, but that is a lie. And there is that many people that want to help you and be able to support you and help you get out of that lifestyle. You literally just need to ask. And so that is my encouragement, is that there is that many organizations and individuals that are willing to walk hand in hand with these women and help them to understand the different options they have. They just need to take that opportunity.
Can you share where they can find you?
So to find me, Instagram is victoria.sinis, and then my YouTube as well is victoria.sinis. But you can also directly email me. I could honestly sit here and list like so many different organizations, but even if you want to email me and if you need help, there's that many people I can put you in touch with. But there's some people that are at least my close friends that I really, really trust as well-vetted people that genuinely want to help people become free, and they have the tools and resources to do so.
If there's somebody who's watching this episode right now and maybe they're feeling convicted because they are maybe one of the people who is subscribed, or they're stuck in a loophole of watching porn and they're trying to break it, what do you say to that?
For men, I hope that you understand that there is an entire industry and ecosystem that is behind the scenes that is very specifically targeting you. It is a multi-billion-dollar industry. And so a lot of the times, men, of course, there's unfortunately monsters, and we're not negating accountability.
Yeah.
But men feel like they are so bad and they are so dirty, and there's such a shame that is on men, and they think that they're too far gone. And I just want to encourage you that you are not too far gone, that there is so much freedom that you can have from pornography, and to understand as well that it's intentional. People are trying to get you hooked, to literally just manipulate you for money. That's the crux of it. That's what they want.
Yeah.
And so I hope that in understanding that, that's again able to help to loosen just that bondage that's on you, to be able to take the steps to walk in full freedom in this, because it's available for everyone.
If someone is watching this now who is curious about this Jesus guy that you're talking about, what do you say? Like, where does somebody start? You've talked about this incredible testimony. I haven't shared my testimony on this channel, but it was very much radical like yours, where it's just, again, it's like a light flipping on, and you kind of turn into that person like, oh, I never thought I'd probably talk about God. But once you've experienced it, you can't help but boast in his goodness. So what would your encouragement be? Like, where do they start?
I think there's a simplicity of, if you have a burning to understand who Jesus is and to meet the creator of the universe, wherever you are, just whisper in your heart, Jesus, I want to know you. Help me, show me, guide me. I pray that Jesus will reveal himself through signs, miracles, and wonders and dreams and visions to you, and bring people to you to be able to show you the goodness of how real he is. I think that sometimes we overcomplicate this. If you have a desire and a burning within you to meet the person who created you, just whisper to yourself, Jesus, I want to know you. Help me. Reveal yourself to me. And just be open to the miraculous ways that he'll do that, and just say yes to the adventure. And yeah, I think that when you're given the eyes to see, it's almost undeniable, right?
Well, thank you so much for sitting down. You're an incredible woman, and I've seen how much has shifted in your life in the last year, and I can't wait to see what happens in the next year and the years beyond that. So guys, thank you for tuning into this very important episode today. I'm going to link Victoria below, as well as resources. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to her. She has an incredible mission. She's doing incredible things, and I will see you guys in the next episode.